So it's the morning after the night before. I'm here on the set with the guys from Ball Street on the social club with Sam from United People's TV. We caught up briefly before the game yesterday. We've got James from Ball Street and Flav from the Fighting Cock. Right, let's see why Saints were robbed. First of all, I'll ask Sam, because obviously United won the final. Were Saints robbed?
Look at your three smug faces. Like,
admit it.
Well, no, we scored more goals. Well, performance-wise, Southampton were the better team on the day, but we scored more goals. And you had opportunities. I think there was obviously when you hit the bar, and then there was 2 or 3 crosses you had straight across the bar. Why was your striker not there? If you had knocked that in, it would have been a different game, but you didn't.
Yeah, admittedly, those Saints were in control for 90 minutes of that game, and we feel devastated, we feel heartbroken, but it's Man United. I spoke to a couple of fans outside the game, and they said it's typical Man United. We spoke on the other social club about why Man United are back. Are they back? Quick answer.
We're getting back, and that's really the win there is indicative of a club that's really gaining momentum. I wouldn't say that's we're back. We won the League Cup, but it's just another stepping stone that United are in the right direction.
How much money you have to spend just to be getting back.
Well, I mean, you guys watched it on the live stream. Sam and I were in the stadium. Let's talk about the disallowed goal. First of all, it shouldn't be disallowed, not at all.
Absolutely not.
In real time, we were unsure why it was called off. It was your end of the ground. It was opposite from me, but
offside to you, Sam? It was offside to you, isn't it?
Blatantly offside. He's only got a split second to make that decision. It's tough.
The weird thing is no one appealed. No one in the ground went, yeah, that's offside. And look across the lines.
So busy.
Offside, and you couldn't. I think Tissier said it. You could not see. He could not see Gabbiadini.
Yeah. So Tissier also said the word disgusting, and I think that's actually bang on, because the fact is, as a linesman, you're looking for some kind of marker to prove if someone's offside or not.
It was right on the 6-yard line as well.
Yeah, so he's got a line there for him, and he's also got a body there right in front. It's not like it's the other side of it, and it might be a little bit more difficult. I mean, it's absolutely basic. It's so basic, and it wasn't really a proper through ball. Do you know what I mean? He's played the ball here, and he's had to go from here and here and look. Yeah. It's a cross. So I thought it was
the thing is what you said. Like, I think robbed's been thrown around quite a lot. And I think it's unfair to say robbed when you've let in 3 goals. You know, robbed is like you didn't deserve it. You made a mistake. The defending was horrible, and the last goal for Ibrahimovic, and you kind of, to a certain extent, you get what you deserved. That's pretty harsh, but the.
I think you've got your Spurs hat on.
No, I mean, look, I've got a question for you, but about what it's like to be Southampton fan. George, should we do it now?
I'm not a Southampton fan. You looking at me when you're saying that?
No, I know. So Fred, what is it like? And this isn't me having a dig, because it must be really hard. We moan about Man United. I moan about being a Spurs fan. Arsenal fans, by God, we know how much they moan. But what like, you've gone through the mill. You know, you've lost something like 12, 13 quality players. You've had your managers poached from you. Is it hard to keep?
Oh, do you know what? I'm sure a lot of people watching this video would agree.
Second question, sorry, Fred, is aren't you not the best managed club in Britain?
Certainly.
In terms of the way it's run.
Absolutely. I mean, going on behind the scenes, it's probably the best recruitment team in the entire world. We've sold hundreds of millions of players, hundreds of millions of pounds worth of players.
That's a lot of players. Well, you should be one or two good ones, shouldn't there?
So the likes of Bale, Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, going back to about 10 or 13 years ago. The likes of Mane leaving last summer, Wanyama, and the likes of everybody else. But we've got the best recruitment policy in the world. We dig these players out from obscurity, like Sadio Mane, from the arse end of Europe, and then he plays for 2 years at Southampton. What does it say about Man United? What does it say about Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, the players that are the teams that are poaching our
Stop poaching all my hundreds of million of players.
Poaching our players. What does it say about their recruitment policy? Are they lazy? I'd say we are more active and probably the best in the world at what we do.
I would say, in terms of your scouting, is incredible, isn't it? I would say, and there's no reason. That's the reason why Tottenham went after Paul Mitchell, and it appears that Paul Mitchell wasn't the one who was responsible. But what?
Who's Paul Mitchell?
Paul Mitchell was the head of recruitment for Southampton, and Spurs is our way with Southampton. Just took him. I think what happened.
But that's your question, isn't it, Flav? Is how frustrating that must be?
Yeah, it is frustrating, and I completely understand that. I'll say just to answer your question is that the recruitment is amazing, but this isn't meant to sound smug, but it's going to. Is that when you're in, when you you can afford to let Southampton figure out whether or not these players are any good and then buy them rather than risking.
I mean, the frustration for us really is because we're letting these players go at good money every single season. Where does it stop? When does it stop? And this is why Ronald Koeman left us, because he quoted lack of ambition. When is the club going to push forward and push into that top six, spending a lot of money? But we've got Gabbiadini now, £14 million. Undoubtedly, he's going to be sniffed at by Liverpool, Man United next season, maybe even in the summer. He looks like a right steal. He's scored five goals in 3 games. He's a real deal, and we really like him.
I think it's really difficult for a lot of clubs. I think Arsenal as well, you have that well-run club, and then it gets to a point where fans go, well, hang on, well, let's go for it. And so when do you go for it? I think that's really difficult. I think, you're saying go through the mill with Southampton. I think it's been a really pleasant mill. Like, you've been watching great football.
Yeah, but the frustration, I say.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to get onto, is that...
Pleasant mill.
It's... the point must be that the frustration must be that there's enough players that you've let go that if you had kept, you'd be as good as Spurs. I mean, they've got half your players. Well, I think you only got 1 or 2, but I think you would be challenging for top 4. And so, as well run as it is, are they missing a trick? Do you have to kind of pull the handbrake at some point?
It's one of those. Look at Leicester. They've gone for it this season. It's backfired on them. They've let Kante go. That's probably the reason why they're doing so badly. Kante is probably the transfer of the season. But the reason why they're doing so badly is because they're not building on what they've achieved. And what Southampton do so well is building upon the foundations of the football club. Les Reed does a fantastic job. He gets his critics, but he's the one that makes the recruitment work. He's the one, and we have this black box, which is a sort of a unique, unknown sort of quantity black box. We'll keep all of these scouting reports in there. Nobody's allowed access to it apart from maybe 4 or 5 members of staff in the training ground. So on there you've got scouting reports that go back as sort of 3 or 4 years before the players even signed. Let's look at Lallana, for example. When he left for Liverpool for 20 million, Dusan Tadic was already lined up 3 years before that.
Really?
That's the process of what Southampton do, and that's the Southampton way. It's not just recruiting players years in advance, but it's also building the players through the youth system. The likes, you can go back as far as Francis Benali and Matt Tissier. They came through the youth system. They were developed as young, talented players, and then went on to become legends of the football club. And that's what we do so well. We develop these players not only to good footballers, but also great people off the pitch as well.
What you're saying there is that Southampton had Lallana's replacement lined up 3 years before. So what you effectively said there is Southampton's business model is to scout from around Europe, develop that player, and at the same time as that player's developing, have the next one to come in. And for them, as a business, it's working brilliantly because you've sold hundreds of £1 million. You must be in great profit from a club that nearly went into administration. So for them, why are they going to change anything?
I think that makes sense. At the same point, I would understand the frustration. I would say you could say Southampton fans were robbed in that League Cup final, because if you'd kept some of your better players, even someone like Font, your centre backs were, one is a young guy who's going to be a really good centre back for you. Another guy is okay, but wasn't physical enough with Ibrahimovic, certainly for the third goal, and that at the end of it probably cost you the game and probably has cost you a couple of places in the table, because when you haven't got Van Dijk in there, then you don't look as strong at the back. So from that point of view, I mean, it's so easy to say that. There's other players you wouldn't be able to buy, but I think that if I was a Southampton fan, I would hope that you would kind of try and go to the next level in terms of your ambition and try and keep a hold of a few of those guys for a little bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, Van Dijk is crucial for us. With him being injured, I mean, we can look at the earlier game this season at United at Old Trafford. Jose Font wasn't as physical as they should have been. Perhaps he wouldn't have made much of a difference in the final yesterday. But credit to Yoshida, credit to Stevens. They played, sort of the games of their lives yesterday. Yoshida's looked twice the player that he were last season. We were banking on errors that cost us goals last season. Jack Stevens has been developed under Yoshida. His leadership.
It's exciting.
So Yoshida is almost like they're nailed on for the centre back position now. But what I'm excited to see is Jack Stevens develop until Van Dijk's back, and we've also
isn't that disappointing? You got Yoshida, and there's these other guys that you could have had playing there.
Well, I mean, we've also got Caceres that's coming as well on a free transfer, who looks like a pretty good player. He hasn't played in over 12 months or so. He's played at Barcelona, Juventus, across Europe, plays for Uruguay. He played in the 2014 World Cup against England, and he looks like he could be a really talented player. He didn't play yesterday in the cup final, but it's exciting to see him as well.
The problem is though, and I think the key thing here is when do you stop? Because this system, the current system, while it's profitable as a business model, is all about treading water in it. And when do you start kicking on and so like forcing Mane to stay by doubling his wages, whatever it might be, keep him at the club and try and kick on and get some success back at Southampton? Because how long are you going to feel okay with the fact that you're just essentially doing brilliantly in developing these players just for bigger clubs in inverted commas to come and steal them?
Sooner or later expectations are going to go up.
At some point there needs to be a shift.
Yeah, there needs to be certainly sooner rather than later, because us as fans, we love the football club, and the community around Southampton is great as well, because everybody got something to say about Saints. Everybody has a love affair with Southampton Football Club, and a lot of us turned out yesterday. It was sold quite quickly for the tickets there, but we were robbed. Ultimately we were robbed, and Claude Puel could have gone down in history as only the second manager to win a major trophy for Southampton. We're clinging on to 76 by our fingernails. 41 years ago.
Yeah, I know how that
we won the JPT.
50 years, we beat us there. Yeah.
We won the JPT.
It's like the funny game of trumps you don't want to win.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You two go really quiet. I feel like, yeah.
We ain't done much better.
Let's get back to the bottom line then. Is it a case of video technology that's needed? Because Southampton were robbed, let's be honest.
I don't think you can't say you were robbed. You're letting 3 goals.
If had that goal stood and it was 10 minutes in, it might have changed the scope of the game.
The whole complexion of it.
Maybe, but video technology is not the issue. You just need somebody who's good at their job. At the highest level, they need to be able to make decisions like that, surely.
Yeah, but they're human beings. Of course they're going to...
Oh, they're human beings. It doesn't fly, man. It doesn't get you out. I'm a human being. I'm sorry.
They're going to make mistakes, no matter how good they are. Fucking Abramovich missed an open goal the other day. I can't remember who it was, but I saw it this season. He's brilliant at what he does, but you're going to miss chances and make mistakes. I think video replays are the way to get every decision right. But whether is the fallout of that is that we have a game that's less interesting to watch.
Cleanse football too much.
Short answer for me is offside yes, penalties no, because there's too much scope for different opinions on it.
Okay, well that wraps it up then here on Social Club. Subscribe to Ball Street if you haven't already. Check out United People's TV. Subscribe to Ball Street. Check out Flav on Talking Balls.
Yeah.
Flagship Ball Street show. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Other shows coming soon.
That's fine.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Ugly Inside TV.